Wow, what makes talking about race so darn hard? That's a fantastic question. No one wants to be accused of being something that they are not. No one does. No one wants a finger pointed at them saying, hey, that was racist, but I don't see myself as racist. So people don't say anything. When you see something that in your mind is racist, you see that's a racist approach. That's what that person said was racist, and you let it go. That didn't benefit anyone. No one wants to be accused of being something they're not. No one wants to be accused of being a racist. And we're always talking about, well, we have to have the conversation. We have to have the conversation. So when do we have that conversation? Because we're going to talk about race. What makes it difficult for you? What makes it difficult for me? Whether you're black or white, red or yellow, when you say race or diversity, suddenly the heart valves freeze shut. No one wants to be accused of being something that in their heart of hearts they know they're not. So the conversation has to happen. And what do we talk about? Well, we talk about just that. What makes this so darn hard? Well, I don't want to be accused of being a racist. Okay. So where do we go from there? I tell you about me. I tell you about where I grew up, how I grew up. And you tell me about you, where you grew up, how you grew up. I had the pleasure of working with a CEO of a large insurance organization, nationwide insurance organization, by the way. And the CEO was clearly of a Nordic descent, tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, very rugged, very fit. And we had the conversation. Why? Because it has to start with the top. And if you're going to work with me, it starts at the top. They said to me, John, I'm white, I'm privileged, I went to great schools, I had black friends, but to be honest with you, I didn't know really any black people until I was in college. How hard is it for him to talk about race? It was very difficult. But I give him the plus because he knew he had to talk about it. For those of us of color, we can't take the approach of, well, it's not my job to educate you. Well, yes, it is. It's all of our jobs. If someone comes to you and says, hey, I don't want to say something that's going to offend you, but I'm interested to know. Can you help me? Certainly. Our conversation went into microaggressions. And he said to me, John, you're so articulate. And I said, let me explain to you why, to me, that can be taken as an offense. And of course, he stopped. He says, I had no idea. When I explained, well, a person of color can't put 2-3 words together and come up with a sentence. Is that what you're saying to me? Well, no, that's not what he was saying to me. But once he understood, I said, so how would you rephrase what you just told me? He says, John, you're very eloquent. Ah, much better. Talking about race is not hard. Again, and you'll hear me say this a lot through this series, is this isn't hard. It's uncomfortable, but it's not hard. The other key is we all participate. There's no one above the other. It's not, well, I'm black, you're white, therefore I am better at diversity than you. Well, hold on. Let's try to do this. Let's level the playing field, and we're all in this together. We all sink or swim together. Consider this. We're in the rowboat, and we're all stroking along towards prosperity. But on your side of the boat, you sprung a leak. Now you're trying to row and plug the leak. Well, we're all rowing. I just can't continue rowing on my side saying, well, boy, poor Chad over there, he's got his hands full because he's got a leak. What happens to the boat? if we can't get that leak stopped up, well, we all know what happens to the boat. We all go under, all of us. We're all going to get wet. We're all going to be swimming. We're all in this together. And that's the key thing to understand. When we're talking about race, we have to understand, we have to keep the playing field level. We have to give everyone benefit for how we all grew up. It's different. Everybody didn't grow up in the hood. Everybody didn't grow up with the silver spoon. And there's all sorts of in the middles. But if we're going to make progress, we have to level the playing field. And let's level the playing field. And now we have the conversation. So if we're going to level the playing field, again, as I will tell you over and over again, don't try this on your own. This can be some tough stuff. It's not hard, uncomfortable, but it's not hard. So if you're ready to be uncomfortable, just give me a shout. Reach out and let's talk, and let's get uncomfortable together. How's that? Talk to you next time.